Hey guys, hey guys, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video of myself. I know I just uploaded that dance video, please check it out. It's my favorite group called Addiction. But today I wanted to talk about something called Tinder. Not just Tinder, but in Japan, specifically Tokyo. I have a couple experiences, mostly bad. So we have one slightly good one, and I will probably be painting my nails during this. Let's do it. Today I will be using OPI called Passion, and then this Innisfree sparkly one. To start off with my first tale, when I first arrived in Japan about almost 4 years ago this year, I was trying to meet as many people as possible, and that included trying to date people as well. I was kind of like still had an unhealthy view of Japan and its people, and I also had an unhealthy view of myself because when I first arrived, like, I didn't realize that everybody is very small and tiny, and especially when you're in Tokyo, everybody seems to be much more attractive than you. At least that's how I thought of myself at the time. I was very self-conscious, and I was trying to find validation. I would just meet anybody that would meet me. One of the dudes I had like really high expectations for, because he was not a college student, which was very rare on Tinder. Most of the people are college students looking for English tutors. Oh, only friends. And just like in America, that's a lie. But one of these guys was actually a dentist, and he seemed really cool, very mature. We had really good conversations before we met, and we had exchanged our line. You don't ask for phone numbers, you ask for lines. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's meet up. And then when we had decided to meet up on a Saturday, he sent me a random message one night, and it was like, sex dekiso. And that, like, he literally wrote sex in English and then wrote the rest in Japanese. Which basically means, like, hey, do you think we could have sex? I was pretty shocked because I thought the person I was talking to was like, I guess I should appreciate his straightforwardness. So when I was like, what the fuck? He replied back, oh, I'm so sorry, that was a typo. Like, alright, you had to switch 2 keyboards to type that. I'm pretty sure you had to consciously do that. Unless you just happen to have sex and then Dekisol in your auto, like, suggestions. So I was pretty shocked, and you know what? The idiot in me was like, oh, he apologized. I'll still meet him. Well, we couldn't meet that Saturday because he had an emergency procedure to do with some customer. And so we decided to meet on Tuesday, a weeknight. And where I lived was kind of almost countryside next to Tokyo. So it's quite far from a lot of places. It's called Fusa. And here's another surprise. It was when I was in the Navy, and I worked in the Navy for 6 years, but my last 2 years were when I was on Yokota Air Base. So that's the background. I lived quite far from the central Tokyo area, and we decided to compromise by meeting in Kichijoji. It's on the Chuo line, which itself is actually a really nice place. I highly recommend going there. It has the Kashira Park that's in Persona 5. So I was on the train on my way Tuesday night, which is ridiculous because the next day I had to wake up early for physical training, PT. On my train ride over, he kept trying to call me. So I kept denying the calls because I was on the train. I was like, hey, I'm on the train. And he kept trying to call me. And I decided to send him a little stamp, a little sticker of like a little angry dude like tapping his foot. And he messaged back like all these messages like, I thought you were mature. I thought you were kind and a kind woman who was an adult. And I'm like, where the heck is this coming from? He went off on me for not being an adult and for not being the kind woman he thought I was, just because I sent him one fucking stamp of like a little like ira like character. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go home. And he was like, oh, you're being so immature, you made a promise to meet me. Like, me thinking like, when did I promise? Like, I know we made plans to meet, but it's not like we made a blood oath. Like, I realized it was fully my choice to not meet this guy. So, thankfully, I did get on the train back home. And he still kept trying to call me. He tried calling me 12 times. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I forgot I painted this one. Anyways, I was pretty pissed. And he also started saying really weird shit like, please come back. I'm gonna wait until you're here. I have a surprise for you. I'm like, oh, fuck. It's gonna be a knife. I'm gonna get stabbed tonight. So I was like, oh, great. Like, I'm still going home. Sorry. When I got off the train at my home station, I was walking home and he tried calling again. So this time I answered it. And I told him in my poor Japanese that he was scaring me, or that I thought he was scary. And he corrected my particle use of all things. I understand maybe if I had used a different word, but he corrected my particle use. It was kind of okay, dick. So that was an adventure. Thank God I never met him. And then my next time with a horrible person was this guy I met we decided to go meet in Shinjuku. I don't want to judge someone on their looks, but he definitely looked like someone who would roofie someone. That sounds so bad, but he was really creepy. And it wasn't even just his looks, it was his actions. The way he talked to me was even with my poor Japanese back then, well, it's still poor, even I knew that this guy was being a prick. He was being really condescending. Also, I like to pay for my dates. I like to pay my half. But you kind of expect, as a woman, you kind of expect that the guy will offer to pay it all. But this guy was just okay, I paid, we went to Japanese fast food. I think it was Matsuya or something, I can't remember. We went to get some fast food, soba, basically. He was okay, here's, I paid my bill, I was oh, okay, alright, we're doing that. Not that I minded. And then, just walking around, and we walked by this lingerie store, and lingerie stores, they just have mannequins and mannequins of bergères and stuff out. Why did I call it bergères? He saw a Sailor Moon one and was oh yeah, you should wear that. And you can call me, I think it's Oji, but he wanted me to call him Prince. Also, this guy wore a button-down vest on top of a v-neck t-shirt and a fedora. I mean, that in itself is not terrible, but it kind of comes with that kind of neck beard thing. And he didn't even have a beard, but he definitely acted like a neck beard. I was on the date, and I was man, this is pretty sucky, but I don't want to just tell him I want to go home early. This is when I didn't want to assert myself with how I felt, even if it was uncomfortable. Man, my nails look like shit right now. But we went to a game arcade. When we went to the Gundam booth, that's right, there's this one little Gundam booth that it fits one person, and he was standing beside me, or behind me, kind of squished in, and you have joysticks, and you it's really fun. You do this huge you try to be the last person standing, and I think I did pretty well. It's kind of hard I think I got a 72%. And he was oh wow, good job. And then he went to kiss me on my face. Literally went for a kiss. And I turned, and he was oh wow, shy girl. Yeah, buddy, this is the first date. And what vibes did you feel that you thought I would go for a kiss? And of course, again, we went to Purikura, and he tried to kiss me there too. And again, he said, oh wow, you shy girl. Me being an idiot. And I decided to meet him again, and this time we went to Nakano, which is another great place to go visit. They have a lot of really cool retro stores and stuff, and secondhand anime goods stores. We walked around a lot. We walked into this one store, and I was oh, this is alright, interesting. There's a t-shirt with a anime girl that was tied up while wearing a school uniform, and there's these little keychains of little teddy bears and other stuffed animals, these mini ones that had red bondage rope on them, which I thought honestly was hilarious. We were walking towards the back, and then I see all these tanga, all these there's Ona holes and all these other random sex toys. I don't know why I'm whispering now. I was like, oh shit. So I tried turning back and he like blocked my way. I couldn't get out of the store. So I was like, I kind of pushed past him. I was like, oh, I'm gonna, go somewhere else. He's like, oh, you're embarrassed? I'm like, yeah, you're creepy and we're in a sex store. So I left and like we went out and started walking around again. And when we got towards the station, like we decided to sit. I should have just said fuck you and went home, but I was trying to be nice. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry, but I don't think I'll be meeting you again. And he's like, he got up and was like, why? And I said, well, I felt really uncomfortable and you tried kissing me twice. He's like, I didn't do that. I was just flabbergasted. I was like, yeah, you did. He's like, no, I didn't. I was like, all right, the Pukura and the Gundam game. And he's like, I didn't do that. I was like, all right, well, anyways, I'm gonna go home now. Thank you for meeting me. And he was like, all right, station is that way. I was like, all right, you're not gonna go home? He's like, I'm gonna go eat. I was like, oh, we just had dinner. He's like, yeah, I'm hungry still. Like, all right. So another thing about Japanese culture that some people get sadly surprised about, and it is kind of sad, is that when Japanese people go on dates, even if you think it's going well, even if they look like they're having such a good time and they say like, yeah, let's meet again, and you never hear from them again, that's them saying no. Like unfortunately, they were being very nice to you because they thought it would hurt you worse if they said straight out that they didn't enjoy the date. So what they do is they ghost you. So yeah, I guess what I did to this guy was pretty rude. Looking back and thinking about the Japanese culture, but he kind of deserved it. He was being a fucking creepy asshole. Oh, that reminds me. When I got home that night, on Instagram, I had this message that said, fuck you, bitch, go to hell, haha. And he also, during the date, like, if he laughed, he would do, like, that, like, villain laugh that you see in manga where they go, like, shi. Like, he literally said that. It was awful. So if you're gonna, like, go on a date and the guy seems like an otaku and you think, yeah, we have similar interests. No, don't do it. So I said I was gonna end this on, like, slightly good note. Because I've been on lots of Tinder dates, and they haven't all been bad. And not even just Japanese people, or Japanese guys. I don't limit myself. But one of the dates that ended half bad, half good, was this one guy who was a singer in a band, which I didn't believe at first, and he sent me a video, and it was, like, actually really good, and I still to this day enjoy their music. He invited me all the way out to Okutama, which is like a good 2 hours away from central Tokyo. And there's like lots of really cool camping. You could do fishing and stuff. It's so gorgeous. If you want to see Japanese countryside and you don't want to have to go to Nagano or like some other like prefecture to go see it, go check out Okutama. It's very pretty. It is quite a train ride though. So he was like, yeah, me and my friends are gonna go camping, and I was like, fuck, like, sweet, that sounds awesome. I went to go meet him, and he was actually late, and he sent me a photo of his friends. He's like, yeah, look for these people, they're already there. And it happened to be people I saw on the train already. And they had all been, like, friends for a long time, and one of the girls spoke English, so I was like, oh, like, lifesaver. And she was so sweet, too. So nice. We're still friends today. We actually had a absolutely great time even after like I met him. Like, he was super nice and all of his friends are really fun and interesting. I got to see one of them smash a watermelon with his head. It was it was fantastic. Unfortunately, I was also cat sitting at the time, so I had to go home early. That's the same night. Like, I fed the cats and then I went on the date with that otaku. That same day. Had a great day in Okutama. And after that, I would go to their shows and their gigs, which he would pay for. He like would be like, "Oh yeah, like you're on the list. Like you could just come in." And I didn't know that the first time I went to I went to their little gig, and they're like, "Oh, Lorelai, sweet, come in," which was really like I felt like that was really nice of them, or nice of him. He like ignored me anytime that I went. I'd be like, "Hey, like thanks for the music. It was awesome. Had a great time." He'd be like, "Cool." And then he'd go into like whatever back room or whatever, and I was like, oh, I guess I didn't get the cue that I was like that our conversation was done. Like he didn't, like we never said bye or anything. And this happened a couple times. Like he didn't say bye. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be back real quick," and then I would wait. And then the other bandmates were like, "Hey, we're packing up now. Thank you for coming." And I'm like, "Where's that guy?" And they're like, "Oh, he already left." I'm like, "What?" Like, all right. So he kind of became like an asshole. I stopped seeing him, but thanks to that, I know that group of friends. Things kind of broke up on the band side of things, and he went off to do solo activities, and now the other guys have their own groups. They make really great music. If I can find their information, I'll put that in the description. Of all things, what he's doing right now, last I checked, is being a SoundCloud like DJ. He like makes his own like little bits and stuff. He was kind of an asshole. It was a bit of a mess. But thanks to that, I now have a group of friends that I meet to go camping. Like I went camping with him for real last year, finally, like to stay the whole night, and it was awesome. So I'm really glad that through him I gained some really fun and interesting friends. So yeah, that's my bittersweet story. Thank you so much for listening. Let's hope that these make it through the next hour. Peace out.